What up?
My man Doc in the house.
What's
What's
going
up,
on,
brother?
man? Yeah.
Good to see
Good. Yeah.
you. So, well, for everybody tuning in, welcome to the today we're calling it the Daily Out Cruising podcast with my brother Doc, and we're going to be doing suicide prevention for U.S. military veterans suicide. Co-host and interview live with Doc himself.
What up? What up?
What up?
Yeah.
So, Doc, tell the people, everybody's wanting to know a little bit about you. So, you were in the military, right?
Yeah. So I served 2004 to 2007 active duty, and then reserves from 2007 to 2012. Was artillery. I did my time in Iraq. I was a gunner and a driver over in Iraq. So I did what I had to do over there, and was blessed to be able to come back here to the States. So.
Well, it's a blessing that you made it back to the States because a lot of guys they didn't make it back. So,
Right.
I like to keep all them guys in our prayers. Anybody watching who's got any family out there who never came back home from being deployed, we send our thoughts and prayers and blessings to you and your family. That you guys, can see them again one day, and for anybody else out there deployed, that they can make it home safely. So,
Definitely.
yeah. So, Doc, the people want to know. I know everybody's been asking about Doc. So, what do you do like on a daily basis? Like, what's the routine for you? Like, pretty much.
Well, it's busy, busy, busy. As they say, I go, go, go. But I have a regular 9 to 5 type job. I work military for the military and for the Air Force Base. So I go to work and I work still for the military as a civilian now, and I love that job. And I love the structure because it's still military base, and that's what I love. I love the structure. I love that stuff. But besides that, everything that I do outside of work, my normal job is normally for veterans and giving back to the community. So that's why I say daily out cruising, because I'm out every day. After work or before work or whatever I got going on. Either going out to give back to the community in some way, or to a meeting, or connecting with the VFW or the Elks Lodge or American Legion or different veteran organizations out here that need help or need a hand. And so I jump on my bike and I go see what I can do to help out.
Yeah. So how was the Christmas? Were you guys doing like any functions for anybody for the holidays or?
Yeah. So for Christmas, what we did is we got with Penny Lane, and Penny Lane works with troubled youth or kids at risk, I should say. So they have different programs there with kids that are either in the foster care system or in some kind of boys' home, girls' home, stuff like that, or going through difficult times with their families. And so we were able to bring toys to over 120 kids, I believe it was. Over 120 kids, we were able to set up the room, bring toys. We had donations from PF Liquidations, from other clubs, Kings Amongst Kings, other motorcycle clubs that supported us, and was able to come out and bring some toys. And we were able to connect with those other organizations, American Legion, the Palm Elks Lodge, just the community that came together. They were able to help us collect enough toys to be able to give to all the kids. And we ended up actually having extra toys, which was really good. And so once we gave all the kids toys there at Penny Lane, we were able to take those extra toys to some families and stuff that we were told about that needed some toys, that they were having a tough year. So we were able to bless some other kids with that as well. And then also with Danny's Customs down below, and we were able to connect with them and take in some toys for the kids down there that he was serving for pardon me, for his community down there. And so, for the holidays, for Christmas here, we want to do what we can to make sure that no kid goes without a toy. They should always definitely have a toy or gift to be able to open for them, during Christmas, and so if there's anything that we can do to make that happen, we do our best. And I couldn't definitely do that without my team. I'm sure a lot of you guys that follow me and watch know I'm the president of 1776 Patriots of America Motorcycle Club, and I couldn't do it without them. I definitely need them on my side and to help. They put in a lot of work and a lot of volunteering and a lot of connections. They talk to a lot of people networking. So I definitely appreciate them, doing all that for me, and not for me, but for the community, for the kids. When you see those kids with a smile on their face, that alone makes it all worth it. So
that's what it's. You know what? That's what it's all about, man. It's about helping the at youth risk, that are at risk, the youth, and getting them what they need, getting their families what they need during the holidays, man. Because every kid matters. It's about putting a smile on a kid's face nowadays.
Right. Yeah.
Any chance? We just did the same thing. We did 30 toys for 30 kids for Christmas. Yeah. Little gift bags, and we tried to do like a little dinner and stuff for Christmas for them. And it's, even though it's just a small gift, it means the world to them.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, because at the end of the day, when you put a smile on them kids' face, because they give you the true meaning of Christmas.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, we had a couple of our guys dress up as Santa, the Grinch, and we had one of our female writers dress up as an elf, and we had a backdrop, with the fireplace and everything, and they were loving it, taking pictures with them. And even the parents, the parents were like, "Oh my God!" Like they thought it was awesome to have Santa and the Grinch and the elf, and we had a Harley stuff back there with them, so the kids got to look at the Harley as well. Some of them sat on the Harley, and those are going to be future riders right there. They love the Harley, so now it's gonna embed into them. Now when they get older, they're gonna be riding.
Yeah, yeah, get them the joy, man, the Christmas joy, the candy canes, everything, the gifts, all the foods and stuff, because it goes a long way, man. I sat down and, I seen this kid, he sat down to eat with me, eat dinner, and I'm thinking about the toys in the bag, but just to see the reaction on his face when he opened it up, and he was like, wow, and it was just like a toy car. And it was a G.I. Joe figure, but man, he loved them. And I sat there with him, and I ran the car around and, played with the G.I. Joe with them and stuff, while he had some pizza and stuff like that, man. But it's a blessing, man, to be able to go back now and kind of give back to the community, especially in the holiday season when it's needed the most.
Yeah, well, that makes a difference too for the parents, because, it's a stressful time for the parents. Trying to figure out how they're going to make sure their kid has a good meal or a good toy and happy during that season. So just by doing that, not only we're affecting the kid, we're also helping the parents, so the stressful time that they're going through during that time of year, they want to make sure they provide the best for their kid. And so by us helping and being able to do that, we're putting that smile on that kid's face, which also relieves the stress on the parents, so that they see their kid happy and receiving toys that they may or may not have been able to provide at that time.
Yeah, amen, brother, amen. So Doc, tell us about your new year. What's a typical new year for Doc? Are you watching the ball drop?
So every new year for me is a little bit different. This year we changed it up a little bit. We went actually out to the desert, to Cal City area, and we went camping and went off-roading. Took the dirt bikes out. We had a big bonfire out in the desert, and we had a great time. We brought the kids out. The kids got to have a good time too. And it started raining on us this year, so we were out in the rain a little bit. But hey, what's wrong with a little water, right? But we were out there having a good time, and like I said, every year is a little different. I try to change it up. But this year we decided to go camping, and that was a really good experience this year. Like I said, it got a little wet, but that just made it a little more fun. You know, just dance in the rain sometimes, right? You can't chase it, you can't run from it, so just dance in the rain.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, and it's the new year, 2023, bringing in the new year. So, did you have any New Year's resolutions for this year? Something you
So
didn't do last year that you kind of want to do this year?
So my for New Year's this year, I don't really do the New Year's resolution thing, but I do focus on okay, like this is a new year. I try to plan out the year, try to figure out what we can do and how we can impact the community, how we can help veterans, how we can connect with doing that type of stuff, and who I can network with, like yourself. You know, we've been following each other and talking to each other. Veterans get connected to the VSO and to the veteran services so that they can get that help that they may need. And so that's something that I'm a part of, and I'm excited to be part of. Once a month we get together with them. We actually have the VSOs come out. We have the veteran reps come out from the VA, from different organizations like that to help them get the services they need. And it's like a one-stop shop that the veteran can kind of get connected with everybody. You know, they may not be able to do everything right there on the spot, but they could at least get their contact info, find out what their next step is and what they need to do to get connected.
Yeah, that you're talking about the one that was on October 22nd, right?
Yeah, correct. So we did that October 22nd for suicide awareness and with Project Homage to Our Heroes. And then also, obviously, a big sponsor with that was PF Liquidations. They were able to help us feed over 300 veterans free tacos that day. So that was pretty awesome that PF Liquidation helped us do that for veterans. And so we want to give a big shout out to them. And then obviously Russ Brown, they sponsor our events and help us get everything that we need to be done to do those, as well as where we do the event is Antelope Valley Harley Davidson in Lancaster. They've been a huge support for our veterans and our community, being able to help us connect and have our events there at their location.
Nice. Nice. And that's what we do here, man. We do suicide prevention, and they say 22 veterans a day commit suicide, and so our goal for anybody watching is to try to get that number down to 0.
Yeah, that's definitely one a day is too many, but 22, that's wow.
Yeah, and if anybody knows anybody who's contemplating suicide or know somebody who already has, we pray for you, the ones that had lost. And if you know somebody who's contemplating, have them reach out to us here on the show. Send us an email, a private email. Actually, we're going to post Doc's information. You can reach Doc personally at IG, and that's at d.o.c_culture, CULTURE. And or you can message Doc at his Facebook, which is at David Doc Manzo, and he can kind of try to help get you guys the help that you need if you're contemplating suicide, if you're a military veteran, if you're active duty, if you're a family member to somebody in the military who needs help. Contact us. And we'll try to get you the help you need, get you to talk to the right specialist that you need to.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, if you got anyone out there, you guys, anyone that's watching, or you got a family member, feel free to reach out. Sometimes it's just talking to another veteran makes a difference. That's why I definitely stay really involved with, like I said, the VFW, the American Legion, Elks Lodge. Those places, there's a lot of veterans that hang out there. Some of them are way older than myself, and I talk to them, and that makes a difference in seeing how they dealt with stuff, because they didn't have a lot of the services that they have now for our veterans back in the day, So some of those guys that did Vietnam or World War II or any of that, they didn't have the connections that they do with the VA and stuff now. So that definitely makes a difference. But one of the biggest things I've talked to other veterans, and they've told me, is talking to other veterans. That's what's helped them a lot, is being around other veterans because we've been there, we've done that, so you could relate more. You may not have served in the same area or done the exact same thing, but you could relate. You're like, hey, you've been through it. You know, you can understand where they're coming from. And you know, we have a sixth sense of humor being veterans. So when you're around a veteran, you say something, and you know, a normal person look at you like, oh, but a veteran, he's gonna be laughing with you because that's how we are. But that's how we get through those things. That's how we're
Yeah.
able to cope with whatever we've dealt with, you know, going overseas or whatnot, and going through it is our sense of humor, you know.
So what would you do? I mean, how do you handle a situation like if you guys if and who would you have them? What's pretty much what would the process be if somebody contacted you that they had somebody feeling suicidal? What would the process be?
So for me, you know, it depends on where they're at. You know, obviously, one is talking to that individual, and not only just talking to them, but hearing them out, because that's a lot of times what it is. They're frustrated. They got something going on, and they need someone to talk to. That's the number one thing is listening to them, because really, the fact that they're, you know, on that edge or they're done, you know, a lot of times once they vent and let that out, then they're okay. But they needed someone to talk to. So don't be quick to go and tell them what they need to do or whatever. Be there, let them know, hey, I'm there for you. You're not alone, and hear them out. Let them talk. You know, there was that famous picture about that gentleman that was on top of the bridge up in San Francisco, and that cop that stayed there with him for what was it, like 2 hours, and all he did pretty much was stood there with him and let him talk, and then he ended up coming back over the bridge, and he saved his life. Why? Because he was willing to listen to him. That makes the biggest difference.
So just having an open ear and hearing what the guy has to say can make a big difference. You know, and keeping him calm and getting him to the right place to talk to the right people afterwards. Hey Doc, we got another guy. He wants to jump on with us. Is that all right? We're gonna 1 second. Hold on, Doc. Hold on. What's happening?
What's going on, fellas?
What up? What up? How's it going?
What's up? What's up, fellas? What's going on? Rob, what's up, man? Yep. Matt Simone here.
Where are you at, Matt?
Yeah, I don't know if I had a little bit of trouble getting on, but it looks like we're all good. My background's a little jacked up, but
looks like you're in a storm. Are you out? Where are you at?
Man, we've had actually some decent weather here with that polar vortex or whatever they call it. That it was down in the single digits, and Rob, I think we're out in the wooded lots a lot, and the homeless vets, the veteran encampments, and man, I'll tell you what, these guys, man, it's no joke out there. We're trying to really put some light on it because it's been kind of crazy. I don't mean to jump into the conversation and change up the topic, but I'll just put that out there.
No, that's good. Being out there feeding the homeless vets, that's good, man. So thank you for what you're doing out there. I appreciate that. I've done that out here in California. I used to go out pretty often, and we used to hit the homeless encampments. And here in the desert, they dig down in the dirt because it keeps the temperature pretty even if they dig down, and then they build the shelter up. So it's definitely different out here in the desert where when they're out in the camps.
And you'll become here and experience this kindness.
California, from what I understand, I mean, I've been to Cali. I've spent some time out in Cali, but when I was in the service, but y'all got a lot of homeless vets out there.
Yeah, definitely. They have Vets Row right down there in Sepulveda by the VA Center, and
crazy.
There's just too many veterans that are out there that are homeless, and it's good to get them connected though with the resources that are available for them.
Nice, nice. Yeah, he actually he
Yeah,
just
I
finished.
mean, you know, it
Bravo Foxtrot. He
Bravo
just finished
Foxtrot
a
United
docu.
Veterans. Yeah.
Yeah, tell us. You just finished doing a documentary, huh? A movie. He just got done making a movie, Doc.
All
Yeah,
right, all right.
we're out here in yeah, yeah, it's called Long Island's Forgotten Heroes. And the reason we made it was this, right? So when we started the organization Bravo Foxtrot, I'm a prior homeless vet myself. I was down in Virginia Beach. I was homeless for like a year and a half, man, going through it, and that's what prompted me to start the organization. We got really involved with the community, veterans organizations and whatnot, and everybody from the Department of Social Services to the police department, they're all saying, well, yeah, we have a homeless issue, but there's little to no homeless veterans. And I raised my hand, of course, and say, guys, listen, we've only been in operation for a year. I got 47 case files on street homeless veterans right here within the community. And that's what prompted us to make the documentary Long Island's Forgotten Heroes, because I mean it's ranging from Desert Storm, OIF, OEF, OND vets, Iraq, Afghanistan veterans, and we're out here. We're out here, and it's unfortunately, some guys might have got out on an OTH or maybe whatever it was, and they deployed. You went downrange. I don't care what it is. You need a little bit of assistance, and the other thing is that a lot of guys they don't want anything to do with the VA, or because the VA gets such a bad rap, for not doing the right thing. So we're doing our part. What we started to do was something called AOR, like y'all know in the military is an area of responsibility. But we use it for we call advocacy, outreach, and collaborative resources, because we don't have any money really. We get very little donations for the most part. It's self-funded, and so what we do is we get resources, gather resources, and the ones that we vet and we find are decent enough to pass along to our veterans, we try to connect them to those organizations.
That's good. That's good right there. I like that. I have to definitely check out your documentary and get connected with that. That's something that we were trying to do out here. I should say we are doing out here. Definitely connected with the resources and the VA. And you're right about that. A lot of people are, they shun away from the VA because of the rep that it has. But I believe, the years that I've worked with the VA now, over the last couple of years, they've definitely made a big improvements. I've been seeing definitely a big improvement on their part, and I've been able to get a lot more veterans the help that they need.
And we're hoping.
I'm a big fan of. I'm not a huge fan of certain aspects of the VA, but listen, the VA played a big part in saving my life, and that's still the best thing that we got. So I'm not one of those guys that just sits there and bashes the VA. Obviously, there's improvements that need to be made, and in a lot of ways, I say it's not necessarily the VA's fault. Probably they need just more funding, more manpower to handle the situation.
Yeah, I definitely agree with you on that, and that's what I think it is because they have so many veterans that need the help, and they don't have the manpower to be able to help them, so it delays things and makes things take longer, and then some of us vets we just get frustrated, and we're dealing with PTSD or whatnot, so being already having those issues and then having to wait so long, then we get frustrated or we just say forget it, it's not worth it, and we back off. And that's what I did. I did that for years. I got out and I did years without going to the VA until I finally hit rock bottom, and somebody came out there and helped me and got me connected and walked me through the process.
Yeah. Man, same story right here, brother. Yeah. I mean, I think that's one of the, all too familiar for a lot of us.
Yeah. So that's one of the things. With that said, that's why I have this event coming up in April. Every April, I always do an event called Doc's annual Veterans fundraiser. And with that funds that we get, that we come in, there's a lot of red tape for the VA. Well, for the VA and different things, they have the red tape, right? Because they're limited on what they can do sometimes. So in April every year, what we do is we do a big event, and it's called Doc's. Like I said, Doc's Veteran Annual Veteran Fundraiser. And with that funds, we're able to help vets that don't have that don't qualify for something because of one little thing, but they need the help. You know what I mean? So we're able to kind of be like the bridge in between that to help them before they, because they may not qualify quite because of one little thing, So we're able to help them on that end and be able to connect them with that and try to see what else we can do with that. And then obviously helping those other programs and different stuff that we do here. And then going out to the encampments and finding the veterans that may need that one-on-one with the veteran to be like, hey, bro, look, I know it's frustrating, I know it's hard, but you don't have to do it alone. You know what I mean?
That peer support, man. I mean, that peer support is key, and I agree with you on that because a lot of times, whenever I see organizations for veterans that are ran by non-veterans, it's questionable for me. And don't get me wrong. I mean, I welcome any assistance and any light that can be put on the issue. But there's nothing like peer-to-peer support. Veterans linking up and we're a relatively small population. I think it's only like 1 or 2% of American population enlists in the military. We don't represent a whole lot, but we're an important population and a very important population, and and it deserves attention. Whether you're Democrat or Republican or wherever it's one of those things that should just be unanimous.
Right. It doesn't matter your political beliefs. It matters that we're here to help one another.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, and that's what we're here to do. We're here to get every veteran the services that they earned, because these guys earned good medical treatment from the VA, they signed up. That's, they're not asking for stuff. This is stuff that they already earned. When they swore in and put that uniform on and they served, they earned good medical treatment, good VA coverage, good mental health coverage, so these guys, we got to get them what they deserve. And if they're down and out because they came home from war and they don't have their family around anymore because they spent 10 years deployed and they come back to nothing because there's nothing here for them to call home. And now they're homeless from the streets because they don't have a job or a family, or they're even qualified to do a job because they're not. So now they're unemployed. And these guys are homeless. It's our job to go find these guys. These guys are missing in action. Any homeless is missing in action.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's music to my ears. Yes, sir. Because you know what? I mean, couldn't even say it better. I agree 100%. And it's you know, it's messed up that we get out of service when veterans are getting out of the service and then they're discharged. There's little to no. I mean, we're giving the convicts who come out of a penitentiary, they're given a halfway house and they're slowly integrated back into society. And you know, coming from the military where y'all know how it is, and everything's regimented down to your dental appointments and where you got to be, and then to not to mention the if you're a combat vet, but then even if you're not, to be thrown out into society, you know, not knowing where to go or what. It's a recipe for failure. And on top of that, any benefits there's I always tell everybody there's on local, state, federal organizations, the benefits are out there for vets. The problem is all the red tape and all the bullshit that prevents us from getting there. And if you're in a bad space like mental space where I was, there was no way in hell that I was able to navigate that process. It just wasn't happening.
Exactly, and that's what I was talking about. That peer-to-peer support, like you were saying, is having somebody that's been there, that's kind of gone through it to guide you. Because without that, I had no idea of where to go or what to get it, how to get the services I needed. You know, I went down to the VA and I was lost. I was like, I'm here to try to get medical, and they're like, okay. But if I had somebody that's been there, if I had someone that's been there, they know where to go, they know what verbiage to use, you know, and how to say, hey, look, this guy needs mental health, this guy needs this. Here's his DD-214, you know, how to go on e-benefits and get connected, because I had no idea to go on e-benefits. I was like, what? You go on where? And do what?
What the hell is e-benefits?
Yeah, exactly. I was like, what?
Yeah.
So with that, you're able to connect. And that's the thing is finding somebody that knows, that's been there, and then guiding them through it. And that's what makes a difference. Like you said, having a veteran run an organization versus a civilian that's never been there. They know what the book says, but they don't understand it. They don't get why a veteran's getting frustrated. But a vet, he's like, hey, bro, look, I've been there. I've done that. I can help you. I can walk you through it.
Yeah. 100%.
Yeah, it's not user friendly. The VA is not user friendly. It's not simple. You'll get lost in the parking lot before you even make it to the hospital door, you know?
Yeah.
And they're understaffed. Like you said, they're understaffed. They don't have enough employees working, and then you're not always getting, like Doc said, you're not getting the right information, you know, when you get there. So you really need an organization to kind of you know, help you through the process to get the help. So people need to get linked up. All these organizations, you know, like the Legion or the VFW, all these organizations, people are like, well, you know, I'm young. Why do I need to sign up for the VFW or this?
I know. What do y'all? It's crazy, right? What do y'all think about that? Because, like, I don't know if it's the same thing where you guys are at, but the American Legion and the VFW, AMVETS, they're all dying out over here. I mean, the youngest member is like 3 steps from the grave, like in his late 70s, you know, and it's kind of sad, you know, because it's been an American staple, but to me, it looks like it's only a matter of time before it's just, you know, a thing of the past.
Yeah, you know, we noticed that out here as well, and we try to bring in some younger vets. So one of the things that we did is we started having bike night, and we started bringing in bike nights. And you know, a lot of younger guys they ride and stuff like myself. I ride. Being out on my Harley, is definitely like wind therapy, you know. So when I can jump on the bike and go ride and do that helps me a lot. And that's why I'm sure you guys see my logo up there, you know, daily out cruising, because to be able to jump on my bike is therapeutic. And then so we started bike night though at the Elks Lodge at the VFW and stuff, and that brought in a younger crowd, and we opened it to everybody in the back where the like the venue I guess is, you know, like the bigger room, because most of these have like some kind of hall type style. So in that area, you know, it's open to everybody, but that helped bring in people, and then a lot of veterans ride. A lot of veterans, surprisingly, you know, they do it because because that adrenaline rush. You know what I mean? It gets our blood flowing.
It's therapeutic. You know, I had a vet like just that follows us on our social media platform, because we really try to put out a lot of stuff on social media. But he had hit me up and he had like a GoFundMe because he was his bike was about to get repoed, and he was telling me how you know, that's his therapy. You know, riding it's truly his therapy. And I chopped it up with him for a little bit because I just like, you know, I got to be careful, like, you know, because if I put something out, that means that we support it. You know, you just got to watch everything. But the way he explained it to me, I was like, yeah, man, like I see what you're saying. I mean, that's something that could be, I mean, it may sound crazy to some, but could be life-changing or possibly even life-saving. I mean, I know it sounds a little far-fetched, but really, you never know.
Yeah, no, but it's right there with you. I agree with you, because it is that for me. I started. I've been riding for years, but the last couple years, it's where it's when I hit my lowest point, and I was homeless at one point as well, and then I got back on my feet, and a buddy introduced me like, "Hey, man, telling you start riding." I was like, I've ridden before, no big deal, no big deal. And I was like, I've ridden, you know, it's no big deal. Then I was like, all right, I'll go ride for him, go ride with him a little bit. And I was like, you know what? It made a difference in my life. And now I do it all the time. And, you know, it'd be even something short. They're just like, hey, we're going to go here and do this. I'm like, all right, I'm jumping on my bike.
Yeah, man, right on, man. Yeah. I mean, it's, yeah. I always like, you know, there's something about being on the open road. You know, there's something freeing about it. You know, it's like what my you know, what we call meditation in motion, I guess, is like a term that, you know, that we use or something like that. You know,
we should do a bikes for vets and a 22-mile ride if we can get one together.
Yeah, man. Hey, I want to ask your guys' opinion on something, right? Because the like, you know, the 22 a day thing, it's crazy, right? And then I was looking at the CDC, right? And as per the CDC, for every successful suicide, there's 25 suicide attempts made by veterans every day. So that equals 550 suicide attempts made every day by vets, and over 270,000 a year suicide attempts. But the 22 a day thing, what I question about that is, I think the number might be higher because that doesn't account for drug overdoses. So I feel like that number is a little low.
I agree. I definitely agree with that. You know, I was doing a little bit on that too, and I was talking about suicide affects, you know, all ages, and it's in the top 9 leading causes for death, for someone to take their lives, in the top 9. But like you said, they don't count. They don't count overdoses or any of that stuff.
Right.
In reality, it's probably in the top 5. You know, if you count everything like that, it's probably in the top 5, and that's sad. That somebody, you know, is going through something hard enough that they want to take their own life, and we want to be able to change that and be there for them.
It's wild, man. You know, like it is. It's crazy, and I was you know, it was definitely something that I was you know, hid and was ashamed of, but you know, I I attempted to take my own life back in 2017, and you know, that's something that I is very close, very near and dear to me. So it's something that mental health in general, I would say, it's something that's it's important, man. Let's call a spade a spade. You know, it is. It's a big part of it.
Yeah, so definitely with that, I mean, there's too many out there, and it's it's mind blowing how many people are going through some stuff, but we don't know about. We have no idea. Just walking down the street, people say, it's not like it used to be where you just say, "Hey, good morning," whatever. Now everyone just kind of mad dogs each other and walks past each other like they don't exist. And I think that makes a big difference. It's just telling somebody, "Hey, good morning. How are you doing?" Treating each person like a human and showing some love makes a big difference.
Yeah, right on, man. That's the truth, man. You know, it really is. It really is. A little bit goes a long way.
Yeah, you want to pay it forward, man. You want to hold the door open for your guy, or even pay for somebody at the store, or let somebody in front of you at the store if they got a family or something, or if you see somebody struggling at the register, help them out. Say, hey, I got you. You got a couple groceries right there. Let me go ahead and just get this round for you. And just pay it forward. If everybody will pay it forward, we could just pass kindness around. Yeah.
I really like that, Rob, because it's so true. I mean, if everybody just did a little bit, man, like just a little bit, and as simple as the stuff that you were just talking about, it goes a long way. That changes somebody's whole mindset for the day. Like if somebody does something nice for them, it'll change their mindset, and then like you were saying, Doc, they'll go out and then maybe do it for somebody else, and it just boom, there it is. I mean, simple, right? Seems simple anyway.
Yeah, it makes a difference. So, that's something that we could definitely all link up together about, and do that 22-mile ride, and do that, connect, and let's get together on that, man. See what we can do with that. We'll all link up separate out of this chat. We can go over some details and try to make it a national thing, or go around, because I know we're all in different areas, but if we're all doing the same thing,
even better.
Even better, exactly.
Yeah.
We're all doing the same thing and helping, connecting, and linking up, and it can make a big impact. And if we make a difference in one person's life, it already makes it worth it.
Yeah, oh man, I agree, man. To start the coalition, I mean, because it's not, I mean, real talk, because this is, we're all over the nation. I mean, it's anybody who served knows. I mean, you know people from pretty much every state. It's crazy. So.
Yeah, I mean, if we're just helping one veteran at a time while we're doing it, getting them the help that they need, and yeah, man, we could definitely link up and do this.
I would.
Yeah.
I'm open. I'm open to that, man. I'm open. Our organization is open to anything pro veteran and anything that is with real people, real vets, like you guys. And it's, even this right here, chopping it up with you guys and talking, this is, it's my therapy. Like the organization, everybody's like, oh, it's so great what you're doing. You're doing everything for everybody else. I'm like, yeah, but wait, this is my therapy. This helps me.
Oh yeah.
This gives me a reason to wake up to so it's not, I'm not all that, because it truly is. It if I didn't have the organization, what would I be doing? I don't even know what I would be doing. I wouldn't, I can't flip burgers. I don't know.
Yeah, and you know that's what I was telling people too. People are saying the same thing to me. You know, like, oh, it's great what you're doing. I'm like, yeah, I'm helping people, but helping them helps me. You know, so I'm right
Right.
there with you on that. 100%, I agree with you on that
Yeah.
because you know when you help somebody else and you connect with them, and then they help somebody else, and then they help somebody else, and then next thing you know, you impacted 20 people when you only helped one person, but it just is a daisy chain. You know, it makes
That's
a
it,
big
man.
difference.
Daisy Chain for real. Yeah. That's right.
Well, what's the deal? What's going on next for you, Bravo Foxtrot?
So, all right. So check it out, right? So we've been doing some. I'm real impressed with our organization and where it's been going. So we have the documentary. It's actually we're actually going to be next week. We're on PBS, public broadcasting station, and it'll be like the nightly news. I'm not sure how it varies state to state, but in any case, we're putting the word out there, and every day one of the biggest things is the advocacy, which is us spreading the word through media. We're constantly trying to get in contact, say like, hey, listen, this is real. This is a problem that exists within our nation, and it needs to change, and people need to recognize it. But like, you know, as far as Long Island's Forgotten Heroes, the documentary, we are pushing that real hard because it highlights a lot of everything that we've been talking about just here in this short amount of time. And in between that, man, we're out, you know, boots on the ground, like I call it, and out there helping these guys. You know, we take the community, the people, our friends, local businesses, they donate goods, and we freely distribute it to the veterans that are most in need. We don't sell it to try to make a profit. You know, a lot of organizations do that. No, we freely distribute any and all donations that are given to us. We draw zero salary, and you know, we're in this for the right reason. So, you know, I hope that you hear a lot more about us, man. And man, it's real. I really appreciate you guys, and thank you, Rob, for you know, inviting me on and having me. It's truly appreciated.
Yeah, brother. It's a blessing every time you get with us, man, because you're always bringing something new to the discussion. As far as our veterans and our soldiers getting out of the military. I think a lot of it has to do with linking up with our guys when they first get out the Army. From day one, when they get out, going over, getting with them before they discharge, and getting them a packet on what's available, what organizations are out there, what these organizations are offering, where the VA is in their area, how to get there, how to utilize the services. Give them the numbers, the phone numbers, give them all the information from day one. So, because a lot of these guys, when they get out, they don't even get a copy of the DD-214, right? Because they don't think they need that.
Fucking crazy, bro.
Yeah. And so 10 years later, 5 years later, when they finally need the VA help, they need the DD-214, and guess what? There's no copy, or it burnt down in the archives, so.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think that's the biggest thing is knowing what you need when you get out and getting the right tools. When I got out, I was out in the East Coast at Fort Stewart, Georgia, out by Savannah, and I was like, oh, I'm going back to Cali and I'm gonna do my thing in Cali. Didn't even think about filing a claim or getting connected with the VA and getting services. I was just looking at what's my next job. What am I gonna do? I was like, hey, I gotta work. I gotta do this. And then I was like, how do I translate my military experience to the civilian world? I was like, oh, what do I write? I was a gunner on top of a Humvee. They're like, yeah, how does that work in the civilian world? You know what I mean? Yeah. I was like, oh, that don't work. Yeah. I know how to break down M16. How does that work in the civilian world?
Yeah.
you gotta,
I
you
can,
know,
I
be able
can
to break
field
that
strip the
down.
hell out of an M4.
Now, to help us understand and help us.
Yeah, so you know, if we're gonna break that down from what you did in the military side, you know, if you were in leadership, if you were a sergeant, so you're like a manager in the civilian world, you know, and if you were in charge of a mission or you planned something, you know, you did organization, you know, so being able to translate that from military terms, you know, if I write on a resume, oh, it was 13 Bravo artillery, they'd be like, yeah, okay, what does that mean to us in the civilian side, you know? So you have to really break that down to what jobs you can relate to and how you can put it with civilian side. You know, you work in a environment with veterans and it's a diverse environment. Well, that's good in the civilian world too, but we don't know how to break that down a lot of times. A lot of veterans don't know how to do that.
Yeah, that's true. Very true.
Yeah, and then on top of it, good luck trying to get connected with a company now and even apply for a job. You know, they got these buildings. You can't even get into a building to do an interview nowadays. You know, between security and you know, and that's you know where an office is to apply. You know, everything's online now. So these guys, they don't have the skills. Come on, like you're out here, you know, fighting in Iraq. You're not a computer whiz. A lot of these guys, you know, and then everything's on the internet now. And they get back here. How do they even use a computer? You know, to even get on there and build a resume. And then even after they build a resume, they don't even know what jobs to apply for, or you have to critique your resume for each job. So it's a hassle to even apply for a job.
Yeah, you know, and there's different things out there. They tell you to apply like government jobs, right? It's like, oh, you have to go to USA.gov and apply on there, and then you go to another one and you have to go to Indeed, and you have to go to this one, and it's like I gotta go on 10 different websites just to apply for the same job.
Yeah, that's that red tape I was talking about, man. It's like it's crazy, you know. I mean, really, coming from military, you know, active, and then trying to navigate all that. I mean, who's really doing all that? Really, I mean, it ain't happening. I mean, far and wide, I say the vast majority. You know, for sure, it ain't getting done.
Yeah, you know, I seen somebody comment right here, the helmets to hard hats. That's definitely a good one. Helmets to hard hats is a good
I
resource.
like that.
And IBEW, which
I got a couple buddies.
Yeah, and then
I was saying I got a couple buddies.
What?
I was saying I got a couple buddies in that vets that got out and went through the helmets to hard hats program, and it actually worked out well for them. They're union construction workers right now, making some good coin.
Yeah, they have that with IBW too, the International Brotherhood of Electrical Workers. I know some vets that went through there, and they're journeymen now, making some good money, doing good with it. But you know, that's the thing, is knowing about those programs. You know, if you get a vet that gets out, like you saying, you know, they get out right out of the military, the Army, Marines, whatever, Navy, and they don't know about those things, then how do they get connected? So having a resource for them to be able to get those services right when they're getting out, and knowing, hey, I have opportunity out there to connect with IBW or helmets to hard hats, you know, it's a good good source, and that's something that we definitely I think make a big difference on.
Hey, fellas, I want to say thank you so much again, and I don't want to be rude. I apologize. I have to run, but before I go, I always say it's Bravo Foxtrot's motto, and my motto is God bless our troops and God bless the principles that made our great nation free. I love it, man. I live by it. So I love y'all, man. Let's stay in touch, please. You hit me up, email. I want to, Doc, I think, Rob, I sent it to you, but I want to send you all the, at least the, check it out.
Yeah, definitely. I appreciate you. Thank you. Nice meeting you. And let's definitely link up some more.
will just stay in that same space and it becomes stagnant, then it really just becomes cluttered. Now moving on to files, folders, things of that nature. How do people organize those?
Here we got Carlos. He said that's what makes us as voices for them, and we got to get out there and help them out. Yeah, absolutely, Carlos.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely. Yeah, so that's the thing is getting out there, being a voice for them, speaking up for all of our veterans, because I think that's one of the biggest things that leads to suicide for our veterans is getting out and being frustrated, trying to figure out what we're gonna do when we get out and transitioning back into the civilian world, and that's what we're talking about today is the suicide and how that affects us, and not only how it affects us as veterans, but our families, those that have to deal with the aftermath of what goes on. You know what I mean? If you have a veteran or anyone that takes their own life, how is their family going to function afterwards? And what do they have to do and pick up the pieces that veteran or that individual left behind that now the family has to pick up and try to figure out what to do without them?
But that's what we're here for. We're here to get these guys the help that they need, because it's life or death. 22 a day. These guys aren't waiting around to get the help that they need. If they don't get it right away, then they're going other routes to take that pain away immediately.
Exactly.
And so, we need more organizations open 24 hours. And we need somebody on duty outside the VA. I've been saying this 24 hours on duty, not inside the VA, but outside, maybe in like a mobile resource van parked outside every VA. And they help walk them through. And then if the VA is not open, then they can get them either like a housing for the night, a cot somewhere, or maybe if they need some mental health, they can contact somebody, or at least get them the help they need after hours. Because I think, the VA, it's only open for so many hours. So 24 hours a day, these guys, they need some help, So the problem is after hours. I think after hours, 5 p.m., everything's closed at the VA.
Yeah, exactly. So I agree with you on that. Definitely 100%. Some kind of 24-hour service will be definitely a big impact, and I think that will make a big difference. So that's definitely something that needs to make a difference. Yeah, and like they say here, Carlos says you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make him drink. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, you can lead them, but that's the thing is leading them to the water. At least giving them that option that they have that ability, that resource that's available to them. But a lot of times they don't know about the resource. They don't know what help is available to them or being able to get that. And that's one of the reasons why we do that in April. Every April, this April coming up is April 8th. April 8th at Allen Valley Harley, we're going to be doing our Vets fundraiser there, Doc's annual Veterans fundraiser. And I hope I love everyone that comes out and supports that and takes care of it, because we're able to use those funds to help other veterans that need it. Veterans that are going through a hard time, veterans that need that connection. And that money that comes in from that day helps fund to help local veterans that are here. And everyone that we can connect with and help with makes a big difference for that.
And we appreciate what you're doing, Doc. Your boots on the ground for these guys on a daily, weekly basis, out there getting them what they need, the supplies that they need. If we can try to get you any donations, I don't know if you guys take donations over there, but if anybody wants to donate to Doc and his cause, contact him on his IG and his Facebook, and we can try to get Doc to some more supplies for some of these veterans, some of these homeless veterans, or some of these veterans dealing with mental health issues, or and get them, clothing or housing, or maybe sometimes it's just a haircut. or maybe like Doc said earlier in the show, maybe it's just a conversation, somebody to listen to and talk to for a little while. And I know everybody's busy, but they might have a little bit of funds available to pass on to some other veterans, to help some other veterans. So anybody out there, if you got some funds and don't have the time, no problem. Get us some donations to Doc's. You can reach Doc at IG at d.o.c_culture, CULTURE, and at Facebook at David Doc Manzo. And you can link up with David Doc Manzo after hours. If you guys got questions, contact him. He's available 24/7 for anybody watching, any veterans out there. If he's not in your area, he might know somebody or can contact somebody, can come out and visit you and try to help you guys get the help that you need. So.
Yeah, definitely. So once again, Rob, I just want to thank you for having me on the show. And the more we can all connect and be able to do it, we can make a bigger impact on our veterans. And so I just want to thank you for what you do and connecting all of us. And I appreciate that. And keep doing the good work that you're doing. I appreciate you.
All right, brother. Well, till next time, I'll see you. And we'll try to do this again soon, brother.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Have a good one, sir.
Have a good one.